Hey ladies! Oh my goodness. Okay, so today we are here for day 4 of the 5 days of inspiration. And tonight I'm super excited to be bringing along Amy Louise Cash, who I absolutely love. We met at the Bridge Experience last year with Lexi Panos and Preston Smiles. And it was just, yeah, an amazing experience. And yeah, she's an absolute beautiful soul. I've also done one of her breathwork workshops, which was really nice. And yeah, heaps of fun there. So I'm just going to bring her on, and yeah, I can't wait to start this. Yay! And I've figured out how to add someone a lot faster this time, by the way. There we go.
Hi.
Woo!
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, so good.
That's good.
Yeah, good to see your face. It's been like a few months now.
I know. I think it was January, wasn't it?
Yeah, January. So yeah, so good. And hello to everyone who's joining us. Yeah, super excited to really dive in tonight. And we're going to be talking, yeah, self-empowerment, confidence, stepping up in business, and just yeah, really hearing all the amazing things that Amy has to share with us. If you have any questions as we're going along, please do put them in the comments because yeah, we absolutely love having people join us live. And so hey Karina, absolutely love having people join us live. So yeah, definitely write some questions and we'll
I
answer
see
them
a
at the
lot of
end.
people on here I know. It's good.
Yeah, yeah. Hi
Thank you for
Lucas.
having me on.
Exciting. And Sally, oh, you're very welcome. So yeah, I'd love to really kick this off and just hear like if you could share with us really what you do in what work you do and what really inspires you to kind of yeah share it with the world.
Okay, so I'm Amy Louise Cash, for those of you who don't know me. I am a self-love empowerment coach. So what that means is that I work one-on-one with people. I hold online programs and I hold workshops globally. So all my work is based around going within, like coming back home to yourself. So basically, I help
Hmm.
people move through blockages in their life, any trauma that they've been through in the past, so that they can set themselves free and actually step into the truth of who they are and the person that they've always been, but they've been wearing all these masks and hiding behind. So it's transformational work and
Yes.
it's beautiful. Does that answer that question?
No, it is. And yeah, I was like, yes, that did answer the question. I was lucky enough to have that as well when I was yeah going through the bridge experience. Amy was one of the coaches there, and she really did help with like releasing the trauma from past stuff, and it was just so good and such a loving and yeah kind space
Oh,
that
thank
you
you.
started set up for us. Thank you. Yeah, and I guess what inspires you to do that? So you're going through and you're like, what do you really like for getting up and doing a business every day and just being like,
hmm
yes, I want to be able to, yeah, help these women through the trauma and
Okay,
everything.
so I'll just give a little backstory. So, about 3 years
Yeah.
ago, I didn't know what the word self-love meant, and I didn't even know what personal growth was. So,
Mm.
I didn't even know that self-love was like a thing. Like I had no idea. I was so asleep, like I had no idea about this stuff. And when I found
Yeah.
out what the word self-love meant, I realized that I didn't have that at all. So I was going through my life,
Mm.
searching to the outer world, searching to the people around me, like my ex-boyfriend, my family, my friends. I was searching outside to feel loved. And it was when I went through my last breakup that I realized that I was so
Mm.
badly searching for other people to love me because I didn't love me. And it was a really big wake up call for me. And it happened all in the same like couple of months that I broke up with this guy. And then I found out what self love meant. And I went through releasing a lot of trauma in my life. And it all sort of happened at once
Mm.
for me. And I decided that I was going to be on this mission to embody whatever self love meant. So I was like, okay, self love, what does that mean to me? And I dug deep and I found out what it meant to me. And then I was like, every single day I woke up with this purpose of, okay, how can I embody self-love today? What can I do to love me today? And it literally became like a practice in my life. And because I was so focused on it, I feel that I have gotten to this place where I really do love the person I am. And it's an ever evolving journey. So it's like
So
this,
good.
it's like this, it's like up, it's like down, it's like up, it's like down. And so I'm not saying self-love is a place that you get to and you reach and like you're there and it's all good forever, because it's always like the ebbs and flows of life. So some days will be great and then other days will be lower and then some days will be great. But it's all about getting to a place where you truly can feel that love for yourself, and you don't need to search to the outer world to find that. And so for me, I'm single at the moment, and I am so content and comfortable with myself that I don't feel like I need anyone to complete me, you know? So like that's
such a good feeling.
It is an amazing feeling. It really is, because, you know, as much as I feel like love and connection is like one of the biggest human needs, and it's just like, for me, it's like what life is all about. I'm okay being with myself too. Like, I'm okay in my own company. I enjoy my own company. I like to be with myself now, whereas 3 years ago, I did not like that at all. So the reason I get up every day and I do what I do is because I see a lot of people in pain, and I see a lot of people suffering. I see a lot of people holding on to trauma from their past, whatever that trauma might be. And my purpose and my drive, like every day I get up and I want to help people. Like, I want to help people go from that place of, you know, hiding away to actually living in the light that's at the end of the tunnel. Because I know for myself, I'm like a living version of somebody who's gone from a dark place to living in the light. And I so badly want that for everybody else in the world. So that's why I do what I do.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that is the best answer. And it's so true. It's like, I feel that whenever, you know, whenever I am in your space as well, that it's that genuine connection, that it is, you've been through what you've been through and not loving yourself. And now you're like, oh my goodness, I know how good it feels to actually be at the other end of, be at the other side of it. And even though you say as it is, it's an ebbs and flows, but it's like, okay, so this can be so much better for everyone who doesn't feel that way at the start. And so,
it's such an amazing feeling. And, you know, to be honest, it just feels so good to be able to like help other people see that for themselves, or like help other people because we can't see what we can't see. And sometimes it takes another person to like show us what we can't see ourselves. And then when that happens, then it's like these light bulbs go off for us, you know, like it's the work we're in.
Exactly. And it can affect so many areas of our life as well. It's not just, you know, once we do feel good about ourselves and once we do love ourselves, it's like so many like doors just open, and even like things we just do things that we wouldn't normally do, or we just take chances or put ourselves out there, or just so many things that just wouldn't even really occur to us before, which is probably what you exactly what you're saying as well.
And you know, it's like touching on what you just said, like I believe that at the base of everything is self-love, or the lack thereof. So if we don't know what self-love is and we don't know how to embody it, then it will affect every single area of our life. It will affect our finances. It will affect our career. It will affect our relationships. It will affect our environment. Like, if we do not know how to embody self-love, and we don't embody it in some way, it will affect every single area of our life. So imagine if you could get to a place where you really, truly loved yourself, how much of a positive impact that would have on all of those areas.
So good. And on ourselves and on all the areas, but also on other people as well. So that's so good. And I'd love to hear, because a lot of your business is doing workshops and everything as well, but you're also Like when you first started, and if you could, imagine yourself back there now, I think, and back in your salon, and you're like, okay, so I'm going to start doing this work. What advice would you have loved to have heard at the time that would kind of help you, help you to maybe make that shift or take that jump? Just for some of the girls who are watching, if they're like, I've got it inside me. I know that I'm meant to do something more. I know that I'm meant to start something and create, but I'm just like kind of like tipping over at that edge.
Okay, well, my story is a little bit different to most people's because I had a hairdressing business for 6 years and I was a hairdresser for 16 years. And coaching, like my work that I do now was never even like in my vortex. It was never on my radar, like at all. And it kind of came to me organically. Like I wasn't looking for this. It like landed in my lap. And then it was like, my coach said to me, are you going to like pick that up and like do something with it? Or are you just going to ignore it? And I was like, what? Coaching? And she was like, yes, you can do this. And I was like, oh my God, really? Like it was not even something that I really like thought of ever doing. But in saying that, for me, I'm all about, when I started doing this work, I became all about taking action and saying yes before fear jumped in. So like for me, when I started all of this, when my coach was like, you can do this, like just say yes, I was like, yes, like instantly. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put a post on Facebook and I'm just going to say I'm doing this coaching thing and I'm taking 5 clients. So I put the post out, instantly got 5 clients. So I put the post out before the fear like came and was like, oh, but you're not a coach. You can't do this. You're not a coach. You can't do this. So I jumped before the fear happened. So I have this, way that I live my life where I always say yes, or I jump, or I take the risk before the fear can get in. And then the fear comes after I've already taken the jump, right? And the fear is like, oh, why did you do that for?
And it's too late. The fear is like,
what did you do that for? Like, you can't do that. And the fear is there. But then I'm like, I hear you, I see you, and not now. I'm going to just try this anyway. So like for anyone watching, if you can just try that, like as in, if there's something you want to do, if you're in a job right now and there's a business that you want to pursue, literally, why don't you try and just say yes? Like, why don't you just say yes? Because there's like a couple of things that can happen. You'll fall on like a really soft mattress. And then you'll just get back up anyway. So like you know, it might be like, oh, I said yes to this thing and then it didn't really work. And then you just get back up anyway. You say yes and you don't fall and it just like soars. Or you say yes and you fall really hard, but then you just get up again anyway. So like whatever happens, you're going to get back up.
Yeah.
So I want to share this with you. I sat in ceremony on the weekend with plant medicine and I was staring at a fire. And I don't know if this makes sense to everyone else, but I want to share this because it really like landed for me. So I'm sitting looking at the fire and you imagine like all the wood like stacked on top of each other. And as the fire's going, like the wood that the fire is like right in is like getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And then eventually it drops off down to coals. So I'm watching this fire and I'm like thinking about us as people. And like the fire, imagine that's like, we're doing this work, and then, or we're like going through life and then we feel like we've failed at something. So like that wood that like drops down into the coals, that's us failing, right? So we're like, boom, drop down into the coals. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like watching the coals and the coals are like all like red and like glowing and like all these beautiful like coals, like red and glowing, like so many, like hundreds of them, right? Under the fire. And I'm looking at the coals and I'm seeing like every single coal is an opportunity. So we think we fail at things in life and we fall. But then the coals are like all these beautiful opportunities. So when we think we fail, we haven't failed. It's just like redirecting us to so many beautiful, amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
And all of those calls are like beautiful opportunities. And then we get to choose the next opportunity. And there's so many there to choose from. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I was like seeing.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, it's so real. Like,
yeah, no, that's so good. And it's,
you know,
yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes we think we're going to like, we think if we do let ourselves out there and if we do really, I guess, like shine like the fire and just like really let ourselves go, and then it's like, oh, what is the worst that can happen, as you're saying? Like, really, whatever happens, you're going to be okay. You know, like on the off chance it doesn't, you know, your first business doesn't go like through the roof. It's like, that's okay. That doesn't mean anything bad. It's like it's going through, and you'll find something that you'll like learn the lessons from that, and find something else that you do love doing. And so it's just,
and we all have,
it so is just getting started.
And like, seriously, we all have times where it's like failing, but I don't think of it as failing. I think of it as like a beautiful learning experience and a lesson. And it happens to me all the time. Like, I'm constantly like creating new content, trying new ways of being, and like all of this kind of thing. And some things don't work. And then there's this little thing that's like, oh, you're failing. But then I'm like, no, wait a second. This just isn't working for me right now. So what else can I try? So it's like, it's the way you look at it. But I just say, if there's something that you really want to pursue, just say yes and see what unfolds, see what you can learn, see what direction that sends you off into. You know, it's all beautiful.
Yes. Okay. I love that. Okay, so girls watching, the theme tonight is just say yes. Say yes and go for it. And then, yeah, let the pieces fall where they do, but however they fall, it's going to be okay. I love that. And thanks, Karina, for writing in a comment as well on Thursday.
Karina,
so, yeah,
I'm so
really
excited
for that.
you. I can't wait. You have to let me know how it goes. Beautiful.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, if you guys have any questions again, just put them in the comments. And I know that what we've been talking about the self-love and confidence and everything and putting yourself out there, a lot of it has to do at the moment where we're, you know, in today's age where it is just so easy to kind of, you know, as you say, like your first post was writing it on Facebook and being like, hey, I'm taking clients. And, you know, like it is kind of the online field is where where it's so easy to start. And so do you have any advice for women who are really wanting to like get their message out there and get seen on get seen online and everything, and what kind of helps you with that? Hey Alice.
I would say, firstly, whatever the thing is that you want to do, find somebody who's doing exactly what you want to do. Find someone who's doing exactly the thing you want to do, and look behind the curtain and see what steps they're taking to do that thing. Because so often we see people showing up on social media and we're just like, oh, they've got it all. But look behind the curtain. Get yourself around that person. If they're somebody that's on the other side of the world, reach out, connect with them. If you don't hear back, reach out, connect again. If you don't hear back, reach out, connect again. Like, literally get them in your vortex and ask them, learn from them, hire them as a coach. Like, this is what I've done, literally. Like, when I first started this, I was like, okay, who is somebody that I look up to and I want to do what they're doing? And I found that person, and I literally, like, I did everything I could. And now, like, she's still my coach and she's my really great friend and my colleague. So, like, you know, I went from just being like nobody to that person to her being in my like closest inner circle. So find the person who's doing what you're doing, hire them as a coach. A great coach always needs a coach, and literally look behind the curtain and follow every single step that they took. Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. I love that. And it's kind of, I guess it's what we both do in our lives as well. Like, it's kind of, you know, a lot of this is going through and finding out someone that's like, oh, who's doing this, or what kind of event or what workshop they're doing. And it's like, okay, how do I do this? And how do I, you know, kind of step up and take the same actions, because it's not like Amy and I woke up one day and we're like, oh my goodness, we're actually just going to get on Facebook Lives, or we're just going to, start doing this. That's not really how it happens. You're kind of like, okay, so I want to do that. What do I need to learn to do that? Or it's even just learning. It's more, as you say, like releasing. What do I need to get rid of that says I can't do that, so that you can
really
just jump in.
And it's also about like finding the people who are going to support you and encourage you. So, firstly, get a coach, because your coach is always going to do that for you and guide you. But who are you spending your time with? Like, who are the people that you spend most of your time with? Are they encouraging and supporting you in what you're pursuing, or are they pulling you down? Like, get clear on that and maybe do some clearing there.
Yeah, that's so true. Environment is such a massive impact. I guess if you're wanting to start a business and then there's people around you being like, oh, do you think that people would be into that, or do you think there's really like a market for that? And it's quite funny. Like, I still get that all the time, to be honest, from people. But it's just like, it really is like having to just be like, okay, and choosing what you let in, because that's so key, because you can't really let the flame get extinguished, or kind of actually I heard this thing the other day that I quite liked, and it was like, if someone's got to where you want to get to, then it's like, yes, take their advice. They know exactly what they're talking about. But then if someone hasn't got to where you want to be, but then they're giving you advice, or they're saying things that are maybe not that positive, you don't really need to listen to that. You can just be like, okay, thanks, that's your opinion, but I'm going to keep going anyway, because, unless you've got the results that I'm after, we don't really need to be having this conversation.
You get to choose what you take in, like what you ingest and what you, like, I'm like, thank you, and you let that go now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. So exciting. And what's coming up next for you?
Well, I have, sorry. What was that?
Yeah, next for you in life. What's going on?
Well, I'm back in Australia at the moment, and I'm here for another month. I have my Discover Your Worth program that's starting. It's in its launch phase right now, and it starts on the 7th of May. So it's like a small group of people, and we dive into right into self-love, discovering self-worth. We look where there's blocks in your life, and we uncover the blocks, and we start to move through the blocks. We reframe a lot of old stories that aren't serving us anymore. And we basically just want to get to a place where we're living in a really authentic place, where we can show up as our unapologetic selves. So it's like an intense 6 weeks, and it's been like a really big game changer for a lot of people. So I'm really excited for that. I also have one workshop while I'm back in Australia this trip on the Gold Coast, which is on the 6th of May. And there's maybe 5 tickets left at the moment. So that's coming up for anyone on the Gold Coast, Brisbane area. And also, so I have a program called Sisters of the Same, and I've been doing quite a lot of lives around this. I think you probably have seen it too. And this is for women who have been through trauma in their lives of rape, sexual assault, molestation, like anything like that at any point in their life. Now, this program, it was a 4-month program, paid program. However, I've decided to shift that because this is a really taboo topic, and it's a topic that a lot of women are scared to even admit happened to them. They're scared to talk about it. It's a really scary thing if you've never spoken about it before. So I've chosen to make this like a free space. So I've opened a private Facebook group called Sisters of the Same, and anybody who has been through some kind of sexual trauma, anything at all, it doesn't have to be rape, like exactly, can add themselves to this group, and on the 14th of May we'll kick that off. So there's like a few things there.
Oh wow, that's amazing, and so good to hear about that. I mean, it's just so great of you, and so exciting. I know from personal experience, having worked with Amy before, hands down, definitely recommend. So yeah, if you're anywhere near Brisbane and the Gold Coast around that date, definitely, yeah, head along to a
Thank
workshop
you
as
so
well.
much.
So yeah, so exciting. And thanks so much for coming on. And again, I guess, ladies, if you are interested in learning how to really get the confidence to kind of be seen online, get over fears and limiting beliefs around showing up and really sharing your business so that your soulmate clients and customers can actually find you, and yeah, getting out of your own way and just basically lifting the lid off it, really. Yeah, definitely send me a message. I've also got a course starting in May that I would absolutely love you to be a part of.
Beautiful.
So yeah, thanks so
Thank
much,
you
Amy.
for having me.
Oh my goodness, I've loved having you
Thank
on.
you for having me.
And you look beautiful as well. I love your
When do you
lighting and
get to
everything.
America?
I'm going at the end of the month.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, end of
Okay,
next
so
month. Yeah,
I'll
so
be
end of
back
May.
then too. So let me know.
Oh my goodness,
Be
I'm
in
so
touch.
excited. Yes, definitely. I would love to catch up with you there. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing Alexi and Preston's, like the
Oh
leadership
yeah.
one that I didn't
I'll
get the
be
chance to
supporting,
do.
so I'll see you if you do.
Because they're
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Well, I will see you in June
Yes.
as well then.
All right, my love. Thank you for having me.
Exciting. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.